this is the Middle Earth Project.
Well, our biome is the Fangorn Forest, and it's like a deep, dark woodland, and it's beneath the southern Misty Mountains. And the covered in like a moss and fern and foliage that's common and usable for Treebeard and the rest of his pals. But the most similar biome that we found would be the temperate rainforest. One in particular is the rainforest in Washington's Olympic National Park. And it's common because of its wet and rainy climate, and it's covered in the like moss and fern that we saw earlier in the other picture.
With the climate, there's a few factors. The first one being heavy rainfall. Because of the heavy rainfall, waterproof fur is a big part that would help animals and the things living in this climate adapt. Because it's a forest, and especially in this area, the temperatures are pretty moderate. So the temperatures in the forest will hover around 30 degrees Fahrenheit, which can hurt some animals. So having thick waterproof fur for like a small animal like a fox to help it hold heat and protect itself is very important in this colder atmosphere. The other thing is the foxes are lower on the food chain, and so they need all the chances they can to get as much energy as they can. So having ability to eat things like plants gives them excess nutrition, which allows them to create soft, um, earthy green fur and having that color. These foxes are rather small, and one of the ways that they are able to stay alive is by burrowing. Because of the ground is softer from the rain, they're able to find a place to store their food, to have their pups, and the waterproof fur allows them to build their burrow near different water sources to give them nourishment without being bothered by a wet living space. The other thing is foxes may live near these bodies of water or lakes found in this forest, and so that their fur allows the foxes to stay protected in an otherwise cold and chilly environment.
This was the picture we drew of our fox. As you can see, it has green fur. Um, in the past, the fox had like a red rusty color, but in the dark green forest, it kind of stood out. So there was a mutation in the gene that became more prominent over time in the populations, just because it was able to hunt prey better as it blended into the environment, and also hide from predators. And then the waterproof fur comes from a waxy coat that attaches to the fibers on each individual hair, and that's advantageous, as we talked about a little bit, just like running through the rivers when they're trying to escape from predators. And then lastly, the bushy tail also came about by mutation. It became more prominent in the populations just because of the environmental pressures of the chilly climate. The bushy tail helps it stay warm, especially at night.
And now we're going to talk about behavioral traits that this fox has developed over time. The first one is that these foxes are night owls. They like to spend most of their time at night, and this helps them with a couple of things. First, them to catch their prey while they're sleeping, because they don't have to worry about them running away. Instead, they can just go to them and find them when they're sleeping. And second of all, as we see in this picture, like the fox cubs are pretty useful to sneaking into rabbit holes and catching their prey inside. This not only helps them to find food to survive, but also it gives them the nature that they need to sneak around at night and survive from predators. And the second one is, as we can see in this super cute picture, this fox with each other when they're puppies. And this is actually more than just for fun. This fulfills training in a sense that they need to become agile and fast to survive the environmental pressures that they will endure as they grow older. Like this helps them to develop agility and speed so they can either escape or catch prey when they grow older.
Awesome.